Hello and welcome to Computology Academy, and today we are going to discuss about an important legislation that has been introduced in the parliament and it has got passed through the parliament, that is the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021. So here we will discuss about the amendments that has been introduced in the electoral laws, how it will change different aspects of the electoral laws and how it will impact the different sections. So let us start and watch this video till the end because it will be very important from the point of view of polity and governance related questions in the UPSC as well as in the other civil services exams. So here, first of all, we should know what are the electoral laws which are in prevalence, which are already functional in India. So here first one is Representation of People Act 1950, and this act delineates about the allocation of seats, number of seats that will any state legislature or the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha will have, and the allocation of seat to each state. All these things are delineated in this act. Thereafter, delimitation of the constituencies. What would be the number of population that every constituency will have? What would be the extent of constituencies? All these things will be delineated here. Thereafter, qualification of voters, the age, the laws and the acts which will bar any voter from voting and other things are delineated here. As well as here the preparation of electoral rolls, the method of the preparation of the electoral rolls. And remember this point, it will be very important point as here the amendment has been introduced. So here the documentation, the method, where to apply, how to accept any inclusion or exclusion of the name in the electoral rolls, all these things have been delineated here. Now come to the next law, that is Representation of People Act 1951. Here it delineates about how to conduct the elections, the method of conduct of elections. Thereafter, here it has also been pointed out that the election method in India is functional on the basis of first past the poll. The person who garners the highest number of votes, who is first in the number of votes garnered, he will be elected. And thereafter, offenses related to elections. Again, what kind of acts or activities that will be considered as an offense during the process of election, those things are also delineated here. Thereafter, disputes related to election and the types of disputes, how a dispute can be raised, where to raise the dispute, who will be the authority, who will be adjudicating such kind of disputes, all these things are delineated here. Now come to the amendments that has been introduced. So the first and the foremost amendment that has been introduced is the linking of electoral roll data with the Aadhaar number, and this is the point where there was fierce discussion and opposition by the other political parties, and here it led to the adjournment of the parliament for various times. And here what are the changes that has been introduced? So basically, as we have mentioned, that preparation of electoral roll in the act of 1950, here it introduced that the inclusion of names in the electoral rolls will be authenticated using the Aadhaar number. So the electoral registration officer may require, and here it is the point which is the keyword, may require. It is not mandatory, it is not compulsory to furnish the Aadhaar number. If a person is having some valid reason, some valid explanation that why he is not having the Aadhaar number, then he may furnish other valid documents, other requisite documents through which his identity can be ascertained, and through that he can get included, his name can be included in the electoral roll of the relevant constituency. And here only this is a method to establish the identity of a person, and it is not mandatory, but most of the time it will be mandatory, because a person will have to give valid reason behind why he is unable to furnish the Aadhaar number. And if a person is already having his name in the electoral roll, then there will be requirement of Aadhaar number for authentication purpose. And basically this amendment has been introduced to weed out the duplicacy of the names in the Aadhaar number. Many a times we see a person is voting in several constituencies because there are duplicacy of the electoral rolls. Many of the person are included in several constituencies electoral rolls, and that is why here the Aadhaar linkage has been provided. This is being made here the provision to weed out the duplicacy of the electoral roll names. Thereafter, qualifying dates for the enrollment in the electoral roll. Earlier, what was the qualifying date? 1st of January of any year was the qualifying date for getting included in the electoral roll, and this is also relating to the preparation of the electoral roll here in the Act of 1950. Now the government has provided the quarterly breakup for getting included in the electoral roll. Here now 1st of January, 1st of April, 1st of July as well as 1st of October could be the date for getting included in the electoral roll, because here there was a catch. The cutoff date was 1st of January. So if a person is going to attain the age of 18 years on 5th of January 2021, then he will not be included in the electoral roll in that year in any constituency if the electoral rolls are going to be revised, because the cutoff date was 1st of January and not 5th of January, and on 1st of January he was not attaining the age of 18 years. And that is why 4 quarterly breakup has been provided, so that next time when the electoral roll will be revised, so after 1st of April he would have attained the age of 18 years and he will be included in the electoral roll. So it was a necessary change, and it will provide various adult franchise peoples to entitle their right to vote, to enjoy their right to vote. And here next amendment that has been introduced, it is introduced collectively in both the Act of 1950 as well as Representation of People Act 1951, and here it is basically making the some of the provisions gender neutral. So there was a provision in both the acts that if a person who is serving in the armed forces and he is posted away from his constituency, or he is outside India, or other central government employees like those employed in the foreign ministry and other ministries and who are employed outside India, so they were having the right to get included in the electoral roll, as well as they were enjoying the right to vote also through the postal ballot or through their representatives, proxy voters. And now this was the provision where it was mentioned that wife of. So it was an anomaly there, because many of the women or the female personals would have been posted outside India, or they might be serving in the regions away from their constituencies. Now the women are employed in the armed forces also, they are serving the defense sector also, they are in foreign ministries also. So to make it gender neutral, the word wife, the term wife has been replaced with the word spouse. So even if a female personnel is serving outside India and her husband is residing with her, then he will also be in position to entitle his right to vote, to enjoy his right to vote. And this has made this provision gender neutral. Now, requisitioning of premises for the election purposes. So during the process of election, during the conduct of election, the state government requires various facilities to successfully complete the election. And here what happens in that process, it requires several premises, and this comes under the Representation of People Act 1951. So here the provisions were there which permitted the state governments to requisition the premises for the conduct of election, and they will set up the polling booths at different premises, as well as they will store the ballot boxes after the election. So this was the provision which was implemented, which was there during the period when the voting was going on through ballot papers. So it was old and it was not relevant in the present time, because nowadays the voting process goes on through the electoral machines, voting machines. And here for counting, now the provision changes, the provision of requisition of premises for counting, storage of voting machines, poll related material storages, accommodation of security personnel and polling personnel. So here it has widened the ambit for which the state government can requisition the premises for completion of the election process. And this is again an important factor, because earlier somebody would have challenged that these purposes are not mentioned in the Representation of People Act, and for this purpose you cannot requisition, the state government cannot requisition the premises. Now it has been weeded out, so it will be possible for the state government to requisition the premises for different purposes. Now, last but not the least, I would like to inform you people that the General Studies Foundation course has been already announced by Computology IS Academy. This is a foundation course for UPSC Civil Services Exam 2023, and this will be a comprehensive prelims comes mains batch, and here you will be provided with the study material, continuous tracking of your progress, test series, as well as mentoring will be also provided. And this will be offline classes which will start from 3rd of January 2022. So those students who want to be well prepared for the UPSC Civil Services Exam 2023 may enroll us, and here you can get in touch with us through our landline number, as well as the mobile and the WhatsApp number has also been provided. You can directly register for the courses through our website also, that is www.computology.com. So here we finish off. Thank you very much, and you can also follow us on our Facebook and Instagram handles. This is our Telegram channel, and do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Thank you very much and have a nice day.